What's up, everybody? I know it's been a long while, but today's going to be a bit different. This video is going to be purely my opinion on why I think the 9 to 5 is a complete and total scam. So I'm just going to cut straight to it. Okay, so short answer is work. And when I'm not at work, I don't have any energy to do anything else. My job sucked the life out of me. Well, TLDR, I got fired. Thank God, right? Like, I can honestly say being unemployed was a blessing. Like, I'm telling you, waking up without having anything to do with the boss telling me what to do, yelling at me for the dumbest things, it just felt like a weight off my chest. Now, you're probably wondering why I got fired. Well, if I had to sum it up, I would say that management had to get rid of me because I refused to work overtime. Like, management wanted me to work more hours because so many people quit, so that left us understaffed. Like, we were down to literally 2 people. Now, for context though, I was working for the county, so getting overtime wasn't really a thing. Like, they don't pay overtime. They clearly stated that. It's a strict 40-hour work week. And to this day, I'm glad I said no, because unfortunately, my coworker didn't say no, and she happily took the hours, only to find out a month or so later that she really couldn't get paid because of some loophole in the policy regarding the pay period, and there was nothing she could do to get compensated. But that is an entire conversation for another video. So long story short, I wasn't going to bite the bullet and be a team player. They planned for my demise. So let me just say, I've never seen such corporate exploitation in my life. And being at that job and being plugged into the news, especially all the things that are going on in the economy, there's one thing I've deduced. Yes, I know it's a bit of a hot take, but hear me out for a second. The reason why I say we're modern day slaves, no, we don't have whips cracking on our backs or live in shacks or anything else like that. But I will say what's worse than being an involuntary slave is being a voluntary slave. Because when you're a voluntary slave, you have nobody to fight. You voluntarily take this punishment, so you can't turn around and blame somebody else for your suffering. You are willingly throwing your time and energy, and that's exactly what corporate America wants us to do in our day-to-day jobs. I mean, that's exactly what I was doing for my 9 to 5 job. Like everyone else, I was suffering. My soul was gone. I was doing the same thing every day just to get a measly paycheck and just barely be able to afford to pay my bills. Like, it's different back in the day. Like back then, if you wanted to work, you could work. You could have a house, have a car, have a family, have kids, and have some money for vacations and still have some money saved up for your retirement. Now, it's a whole different ballgame. Now you're working just to survive, and barely that. Like, most people can't afford to buy a house, own a car. A lot of people don't want kids, and some don't want any kids ever. Like, you're being priced out of just about everything. Like, you're slaving your day away because you have to. And hardly anybody likes the jobs they do, so it's just a game of endurance or until you burn out or hit rock bottom. Like, it's a real pain in the ass to having to get up every day to go on a job that you hate Monday through Friday. Like, you barely get any rest days. And then only you have to get up Monday morning and start all over.
I don't like the workers, I don't like the managers, I don't like nobody.
Like, you really can't go anywhere or do anything without approval. You only have a certain number of days you're allowed to take off sick. You have to ask to go on vacation, how long you're going to be gone, and sometimes you're even expected to work while on vacation. Like, it's hard to pick a hobby because by the time you get home, you're already too exhausted to do anything else. You're expected to eat, sleep, and breathe your job just to stay afloat, as our wallets are being gouged out through inflation. Like, does any of this sound like freedom? Like, I'm just wondering if I'm the only one going crazy here. And a little side note here, this may be just coming from me, but I don't understand how the older generations were able to pull this off. Like, just thinking about working 40 years, every day, Monday through Friday, doing the same thing every single day, and having the weekends to relax. It just mind boggles me. I mean, even with all that stuff, like a house, a car, a family that depends on you, like, I just couldn't pull it off doing the same thing every single day and having a boss telling me what to do for most of my life. Okay, this may be another hot take, but honestly, I see why people are choosing to mooch off the government or ask for handouts that come their way. Like, I might sound a little black-pilled here, but playing by the rules just ain't getting the bills paid at this point. Like, just being the ethical person, pulling yourself by your bootstraps, it just doesn't sound like it's working right now. Because in this economy, hard work alone ain't cutting it. Hard work, sadly, does not result in the same thing as it did decades ago. Like, if there's one thing I've learned from my previous job is that hard work doesn't get you ahead. It gets you exploited. I've seen so many times people putting all this hard work in only for the higher ups or the managers to barely notice them, and they keep it up until either they get fed up or they just straight up quit or just say screw it and become a slacker and just does just enough not to get fired.
I don't give a damn about this job. I'm tired of waking up for the white man.
Like, it's a sad reality of what happens to somebody who goes above and beyond for a company that doesn't even care about them. And to be honest, why would any company care about its employees? They're just numbers to them. And what's really sad is once that person loses that fiery passion for working hard and being a productive person for a company because they're burnt out and frustrated, it's really hard to get all that back. Like, I don't know about everyone else, but growing up, I've been told since I was little, like I needed to be the first one and first one in, the last one out. And I got to do more than the person next to me. If I finish my work, I got to ask the teacher or boss, what things can I do extra when I'm finished, with what's required. Basically, go above and beyond every day to get ahead. Basically, just go out of my way to impress the boss and just kiss a lot of ass and, all this other crap. Like, I've been told this when I was little by my parents and my teachers, the counselors and all this. I'm not sure if the school taught it as a whole, but it's ingrained in us that we need to work hard, put all this extra hours in, hours equals success and all this. But the thing is, it's all cap. All of it is cap.
Man, this some old bullshit.
It is the fastest way to get exploited by everybody. Work to the bone, broke and exhausted. So yeah, with all that being said, I don't blame people for mooching because one thing, it's not easy to mooch. First, you got to find somebody to mooch off of. Then you got to be able to be the type of person to finesse to get what you want. And lastly, so many people are plugged into the hard work philosophy that not everybody can stomach being a total mooch for a long period of time. It takes some skill. Now, I'm not saying being a mooch is a good thing. I'm just saying that I understand why somebody would do it. There are just so many rabbit holes in today's society that will drain your time, your wallet, and your sanity that you got to be careful what you sink your teeth into. Most people literally can't afford to take risks in today's economy. Now again, I'm going to emphasize this. I am not advocating for people to be a mooch. I'm not saying that mooching off of somebody and piggybacking off of somebody else is a good thing. But what I am saying is that times are tough and people are desperate. So people do what they got to do in order to get that bag. So it's no secret that economies are in the dumps right now. But in my opinion, I say it was all bound to happen. Like, that's the thing with capitalism. Workers are exploited for profit. We want fewer workers for the same amount of profit. So I would say any regular job you're going to get, you're going to be exploited at some point because that's what companies do. They want to get the bang for their buck with the least amount of effort. They don't want to pay their workers a fair wage. What is a fair wage, to be honest? I would say a plus for my job is I had some free time to think and figure out that, oh my God, I'm a slave. Even though I had to be at my desk on that free time, I still had the time to actually study and look up some things and actually understand the truth of what's going on because I had no passion in my job whatsoever. They were trying to squeeze every inch of life they had out of me, and it came to realize that almost every job wants to squeeze every inch of life they have out of you because we're just numbers to them. It's a mess, but you gotta follow the money. Well, with all that being said, I know I talked a lot of crap, but what good is talking all this crap without offering a solution? Well, to my answer to that is I don't actually have a solution. To be honest, I don't think there is a solution. You can try and go out of your way and start your own business, or maybe try and go into sales, or better yet, learn a skill. That way you're not so easily replaceable. But the thing is, we're not taught any skills, and we're not really taught to win, especially if you're in the middle class. We're just taught knowledge. Useless knowledge at that. We have to scramble to find a job that we went to school for, only to find out we hate that job. But because we have so many dependents, we can't leave because we have a family to feed and bills to pay, and you're relying on that job to pay off your loans. So as a result, you take shitty hours, the shitty pay, the shitty insurance, the shitty lifestyle that they can take away from us at any moment because we're so desperate and we rely on their matrix to provide for us. But that's all. I think I ran it along long enough. Long story short, we're being screwed over. Jobs are BS. 9 to 5 is a scam. And we need to come together as the American people. We need to do something about this. That's all. Bye.